Good morning, welcome back to London. I'm on a mission to find the best hidden gems in the greatest city in the world, London. Today we're going to start at the best preserved Georgian street in the whole of London from the 18th century. Right now I'm in the northwest area of London, and this is the busy Highgate Road. Very busy, very bustling, but here is a hidden gem called Little Green Street. These houses, they were built in 1780s and they are absolutely beautiful. Just to put that into perspective, the United States of America as we know it today was established in 1776. So this street is as old as the United States of America. I think that's absolutely mind-blowing. So these buildings were originally shops, they were stores, and of course these were the shop windows. So the evidence in history that we know, some of the stuff that was sold here, mouse traps and also ribbons. I just love how the windows come out of the building just a little bit, so of course the goods will be displayed in the window. Kind of reminds me of Harry Potter or something like that, Willy Wonka. But you can see, you really step back in time when you come to Little Green Street, cobbled street and beautiful houses. This street is tiny. There's only 8 houses this side and 2 houses this side. That's it. But this is the best reserved Georgian street in the whole of London. It's such a hidden gem. Amazing place to come and take pictures here because look at it. You really step back in time. We are not too far from Hampstead Heath, which is one of the most expensive areas of London, and it's not cheap to live on Little Green Street either. There was a 2-bedroom flat that was sold here recently for £1.2 million. It's absolutely crazy. But another very famous thing that happened on Little Green Street is the Kinks. The band The Kinks, they recorded a song here called Dead End Street, and I'm going to try and line it up, but I think it was right about here. A Sunday joint of bread and honey. One of the first times Little Green Street comes up in court records, July 1805, a female servant called Mary Lee. She was arrested for larceny, which is theft, and apparently she stole around 40 shillings worth of stuff, which is today's money around 220 US dollars. Amazing piece of history right here. One last look at Little Green Street. Just imagine like Christmas time here. The whole street decorated, snow falling. Wow, and imagine what it was like walking down here in 1870. Incredible. London is amazing. Hello everyone, welcome back to London. So today is actually part 2 of finding some hidden gems in London. So go and watch part 1 if you didn't already, because we found some fascinating stuff yesterday, stuff that I'd never heard of until very recently. And a lot of these things, they're hidden in plain sight. So that street right there, people walk down that street every single day. They don't know the history. They don't know that it's one of the oldest streets in the whole of London. Do they care? I don't know. But to me, it's so interesting. And we're going to find, I have a long list today of interesting, fascinating things that maybe you haven't heard of. So hopefully you're going to learn something new today. It's a beautiful day here in London and I'm so excited to show you. Don't worry, everywhere I go today, I will put the location in the description so you can visit the next time you're in London. It's time to go to destination 2 today, so let's jump on an old-fashioned London bus. This is King's Cross railway station, very famous, too famous for us, but inside is something very interesting, so let me show you. This is one of the biggest train stations in the whole of London. There's so many platforms, it's huge, so many people waiting for their trains. This is where Harry Potter took his train to Hogwarts. All of these people are waiting. Platform 9 3/4 right there. Let's get out of here, so many people, but just around the corner, something very interesting. It's absolutely amazing that I can walk 1 minute down the street and find a road with no people on it. Now, this is Keystone Crescent. I'm just gonna walk down here. Tell me, what do you notice? Anything stand out? Does anything look different? Yeah, blue house. Welcome to the oldest crescent in Europe, and it might be the oldest crescent in the whole world. This is Keystone Crescent, and it was built in 1846, and it was originally called Caledonian Crescent because just over there is Caledonian Road. But they had to change the name in the early 1900s because it had a bad reputation for prostitution. Imagine what was going on here 100 years ago. By 1851, 76 families lived in 22 houses, a total of 240 people. That averages 11 people in each of these houses. Absolutely incredible, historic, very, very historic. So of course, just down the street is King's Cross Railway Station. In the early 1990s, the Channel Tunnel was being constructed and they wanted a new station, and the idea was to build it next to King's Cross Railway Station. That means that Keystone Crescent needed to be destroyed, but the locals got together and they rescued it. So it's still standing here today. A man named Robert Stuckey is responsible for building the Crescent, and he lived right here. That blue door is 2A and that red door is 2. When he died, his family members were looking through his stuff in number 2A, and under his bed they found some documents, a lot of paperwork, and they realized that he was living a double life. He had 2 wives, he had 7 children with each wife, so he had 14 children. And still to this day, they still don't know if each wife knew about each other, but there you go, double life. One thing that's obvious straight away is it's so quiet. Literally, if you walk 1 minute that way, there's thousands of people. This Caledonian Road is so busy. What about the blue house? As you can see, every single house pretty much looks the same, apart from this blue house. So the story goes that the homeowner painted it, and there's nothing anyone could do about it. People weren't happy about it, but they do whatever they want with their own house. I would rather live in the blue house. Look at it. It's pretty cool. So this street is 180 years old. It's incredible. London always amazes me that there's historic stuff like this still around. Amazing. Keystone Crescent. I didn't even notice that there's a sign here. So all of the information about Keystone Crescent, amazing, got the dates here. I didn't realize that this road is older than King's Cross Railway Station. Amazing. The station is literally 1 minute down there. Incredible. So here's the station right here. This is St. Pancras, and then here's King's Cross, and then the Crescent is just over here. Incredible. So this was here before the station. Wow. And one last thing, it says here, do not sit on the steps. People live here. It's just a regular residential street, so please respect the people. I love these kind of London streets. Super wide streets, high houses, 4-story houses, some of them. Really cool. And it's so interesting, like some areas, just so many people everywhere, so bustling, and then some roads are not. I just went past a London underground station called Angel, and this area of London is called Islington. There's a lot of council estates here. You don't want to be there at night. We're almost at our next destination. Let me show you a council estate in London. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's around, I don't know, 50 families living in just in this one here. You can see it's not the most beautiful places. And like I said, they are not nice places to be at night because a lot of bad stuff happens. Not very beautiful. So if you don't know what a council house means, it means it's owned by the council, and then the people here, they pay the council to live there. So they're not privately owned, so nobody owns it. Well, the council owns it, but a person doesn't own it. So not nice. You can immediately tell the difference because you look at something like that, and then literally across the street, brand new apartments, and these will probably go for like, I don't even know, like $400,000, £400,000 probably, and then literally across the street is council apartment. It's funny. Very, very different. People living here, they have very, very different lives. We have made it to our next destination. This is Shepherdess Walk. So shepherd is the man, shepherdess is the woman. And something, when I saw it online, I was like, no, there's no way this is still here. But it is, and I can't wait to show it. Like, I'm so excited to show you this one because it's so unique, and I guess nobody knows about it. It's not very well known, and you might miss it. First of all, the houses down here, very, very, very nice. Again, it's going to be very, very expensive to live on this street. It's funny that every single house looks the same. So they literally just build them, but they build them well, so they last a long time. So these have been standing here for a long, long, long time. But just down here is something very, very interesting. So how did Shepherdess Walk get its name? Of course, it's something to do with shepherds and sheep. But what's the story? So, of course, just like any other city, London began as a small settlement, and it expands. and they start building out and out and out, and that's how you get a big city. London is no different. So this was countryside at one time. So central London is over there, and of course they started to build out when they started to need more space. So this was at one time countryside. So there is something very interesting between these two houses over here. So the story goes that shepherd and shepherdesses, they needed somewhere to walk with their sheep to get to market. So the market's over there, around a mile over there, and they needed a shortcut to get there. So instead of walking all the way around the houses, they wanted to save time. So I'm going to pan the camera on. Let me know if you see it. So right there, that is going to be the shortcut. Let's check it out. Like I said, at one time there was nothing here. So the shepherd and shepherdesses would walk with their sheep down here and they would go to market. So when they started to build the houses, they wanted to build a shortcut, and this was it. So let's check it out. So the shepherd and shepherdesses would walk with their sheep through that gap, and this is Shepherdess Walk Park. So this is not where the market was. So the market was around a mile over that way, but that little gap saved them so much time instead of going all the way over the houses. But there's also something else very, very, very interesting over here. So you saw the sign down there, it said "To the Mosaic," and this is it. So this beautiful mosaic here shows life in Hackney, and it also shows the 4 seasons. So spring, summer, winter and autumn. And of course, it has some sheeps over here. Shepherdess Walk. A piece of history right here. So this mosaic was designed by a lady called Tessa Hunkin. She's right here. She had a team of around 150 volunteers that made this mosaic. And a lot of those people suffered with substance abuse. So I guess this gave them something to focus on, which is amazing. And then the floor mosaics were added later on, but this is amazing. I don't know if a lot of people know about this, but let me show you the walkway one more time. Amazing. So sheep would literally walk straight through here instead of going all the way around the houses. They would go to Smithfield Market, which is, like I said, a mile that way, but piece of history right there. They could have just filled that in, but they left it there. Amazing. So like I said, at one time this was the outskirts of London. It was countryside, and in the 18th century there was a pub here called the Shepherd and Shepherdesses, and this is where Londoners came for a day in the countryside to get away from the busy city. Well, now it's the busy city in itself because this is not the countryside, but it used to be. Pretty cool, huh? Let's take a walk. We're going to take another bus. I hope you're enjoying these videos. Like I said, this is the second one. Go and check out the first one. I could literally make 20 of these videos. There's so many hidden gems and secrets and historic things in London, and I love seeing them, and I love making these videos for you. So please let me know if you enjoy them. Write me a comment, hit the subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you so much for channel members for supporting me in that way, so I can make so many more of these videos because I enjoy it so much, and I hope you are too. That's a cool looking pub, the Wenlock Arms. So right here you might see it says free house. That means that anybody can go in there. So some pubs you need to be a member to go inside, but a free house means anybody's welcome. That's really cool. Wenlock Arms. So I said in yesterday's video that pubs were the first buildings in London to have signs, and back in those days most people couldn't read, so they couldn't say pub or beer, so they had to show pictures of things. So that's why pubs today, they're called like the Queen's Head or like Dog and Bone, like something like that, so they can show a picture because people couldn't read. Look at that. That is some serious barbed wire. Wow. So over there is a primary school, and all the kids will live on this estate here. We're just passing by, but this archway here, let's just say a long time ago, a lot of people like to hang out there, but this is St. Paul's Cathedral. It is massive. Of course, one of the most famous things in London, so many people here. You can go inside, they have a church service, but it is huge. Incredible. And it has one of the biggest domes in the world. Now I'm right in the center of London and it's so busy, there's people everywhere. It helps that the weather's good today. But just down the street is something very interesting. From this angle you can really see the scale of St. Paul's. It's so big. It is huge. Imagine what it takes to build something like that. Wow. Why is it called Old Fish Street Hill? No idea, but there is a reason. We have arrived, so a 5-minute walk away from St. Paul's Cathedral. It's something that's been here since the 9th century, and it's this. So you're thinking right now, Ben, there's nothing there. That's the point. So this is called Queenhithe, and at one time ships from all over the world would sail into here, and this is the oldest Anglo-Saxon dock in the UK and probably in the world. So Queenhithe, Hythe, it means small dock or port, and queen, which queen? Queen Matilda. Queen Matilda married King Henry I in the early 12th century. She was granted the tax revenues from goods sold on the beach boats right here at Queenhithe. So she got a piece of every single bit of merchandise that was sold right here. Incredible. 2014, a beautiful 30-meter mosaic was put here to show 2,000 years of history in London, starting from the Romans right up until the Blitz, World War II, and the Millennium Bridge. The River Thames runs through the middle of the mosaic, and fragments were found in the river and they were put in the correct time zone on the mosaic. So some of the stuff you see inside the wall, they found it and they put it to that time. So for example, some Tudor pottery is in the Tudor section. You could say that right here is the birthplace of modern London, as Alfred the Great re-established the city of London in 886 after it was abandoned by the Romans. One of my favorite things about the mosaic is William Shakespeare is looking across the river to the Shakespeare Globe Theatre, where you can still see Shakespeare's plays today. There is some information here if you want to read it when you visit, but one more thing I want to point out is over here, these are called barge beds. So the boats would come in and then the barge beds will keep the boats steady so they can sell their merchandise. But this space has been here since the 9th century. There you go, another piece of history for you to come and see when you visit London next time. We're going to head to our next destination. Let's walk along the River Thames. Here's a tip, don't take these carts. Welcome to maybe the most famous of all in London. So first of all, Big Ben is the name of the clock. The tower is called Elizabeth Tower, and of course it's connected to the Houses of Parliament. And it's gold. There's people absolutely everywhere. It's so busy. So 2 tips I'm gonna give you. 1, never ever walk out in the street unless it's a green light. Never do that. And 2, don't walk in the bike lane because the bike will hit you. Just down here there's a bike lane that crosses the bridge and people get hit every single day. So be careful. So many people everywhere. You've probably seen those pictures of people get with like a red phone box and Big Ben in the background. Well, it's here. This is the line of people waiting and it's right there. It's a really nice view. This area gets crazy. So many people, so crowded because like 4 or 5 of the most famous things inside London you can see within like the same hour. Westminster Abbey's over here, got Big Ben, Houses of Parliament, London Eye, all in the same place. So just go there at like 6 AM, there'd be no one there to take pictures. That's the best time to go. That is Westminster Abbey. I'm very spoiled because I came to all of these places for like field trips when I was a kid at school. So I don't appreciate them as much as I should because they're amazing. Like people come from all the way around the world to see stuff that I've seen like so many times. I'm pretty sure Westminster Abbey was where Joey got in the map in Friends, with him and Chandler went to West. I think that's where he jumped in the map. But as you can see, so many people over there. You can go inside, but make sure you get a reservation because there is people everywhere. Welcome to the Horse Guards Parade. This is where you can see the King's Guards on horses. So This area is huge. If you go over there, you're gonna see an archway. You go through the archway, you can take some pictures with the guards on the horses. And it's really cool. You can see the London Eye. So this long street is called the Mall. If you go all the way to the end, you're gonna get to Buckingham Palace. I went there yesterday. And if you go that way, you're gonna get to Trafalgar Square. I showed you a secret there, so check out yesterday's video to see that. Here's one for my American friends. We call this a ice cream van, no ice cream truck. We are almost at our next destination, but we have to pass through Piccadilly Circus. Everywhere we've been today has been crowded, but Piccadilly Circus is gonna be a circus because it's always crowded. This place is quite literally a circus. So this is where a lot of theatres are. So if you ever come to see a theatre show, West End show in London, this is where you're gonna come. 你好，欢迎来中国，这里有很多中国的饭店。Chinatown, baby. If you want some delicious food, London Chinatown. 我喜欢来这里说中文。中国人说哇，外国人说中文。So many delicious Chinese restaurants. They have Chinese supermarkets, Chinese casinos, Chinese banks. Everything is aimed at the Chinese people living here. It's so cool. Even like the street cleaners, they're going to be Chinese. It's amazing. You can see even the street signs here would have English and Hanzi and Chinese. Wow, I've been walking a lot today, so much more than yesterday. Anyway, so we're in Soho now. Over there is Soho Square. And there's a park in the middle, so it goes all the way around. But today, we've come to see this building. So this building in the corner of Soho Square, it was built in the 18th century and it's been home to a few barons, members of parliament, but in 1861 it became the House of Charity. And you can see the wording up there, it says House of Charity. This was set up by a physician, Dr. Henry Monroe, as a place for homeless people in Victorian London to be looked after. Inside is a beautiful chapel and they hoped that it would encourage the people staying there to live a more Christian life. So I know what you're thinking, Ben, who cares about an old homeless shelter, basically? There's something very interesting that's still here. So yes, you can admire the building, you can see House of Charity up there, but this is still here. So this is called a penny chute, and it encouraged people walking by to put some coins in there, and all of the money went to obviously helping the people that were staying here. And it's still used today. You can put money in there. Today this building is used as a members club. It's called the House of St. Barnabas, and there's a bar in there, and of course they do events and stuff, and all the money goes to helping people still today. So if you ever stop by the Soho Square, drop some pennies in the penny chute. I think it's incredible. So it's still helping the homeless of London today. Amazing, huh? So many people are in this square right now, so many people walking by there. Maybe they see the penny chute, they just think that it's not used anymore, maybe they don't know it's the penny chute, but amazing history. So right by the door, there is a sign here. So it says supporting London's homeless back into work. So they're still doing charity work, it's still a members club, and all the proceeds go to helping the homeless in London. I think it's amazing that it's still here today, it's still used today, and it was all started by one man. So Dr. Monroe, he helped so many homeless people here in London and is still helping people today. We have one more destination to go to today, so let's take a walk. Let's walk through Soho Square Gardens. There are so many people in the park today enjoying the nice weather because we don't have too much of that, so we got to enjoy it. Currently walking down Oxford Street. This is the main shopping street in London. When you see those videos of like the Christmas lights in the streets in London, it's Oxford Street. Our final stop today has brought us to the north side of Hyde Park. Hyde Park is just over there, and I've come to Leinster Gardens. Now, these houses, first of all, they're absolutely huge. They're extremely expensive. This area of London is extremely expensive, but these houses, there's something interesting about these two houses right here. So as you can see, there's a hotel there. The other side, there's a restaurant. So these two doors, they're not real. These two houses, they are not real. These are fake houses. One clue is there's no post box, there's no letterbox. And another one, look at the windows are boarded up. These are not real houses. We can see from the other side as well. The doors are not real. And you'll see when we go to the other side, what is there? Because these are not houses. You can see better on this side that there's no windows. It's not a real front door, and these are not real houses. If I go to the other side, I can explain why. So I'm gonna walk around to the back of these houses and you'll see what is going on with these fake houses. So the story is, this street was laid out in 1855, but they immediately had a problem because 1863, they built some train tracks underneath the street. So on the back of these houses, this street is called Porchester Terrace. And they needed to fill this space because they had a train track there. So can they just have an empty gap between the houses? So somebody had a genius idea to put some fake houses in there. The closest underground station is Bayswater Station, and it's just down the street over there. And the tracks run right through the middle of the street. Does anybody want to live directly above the train track? I don't, because that's going to be loud. So they decided to do this. As you can see, there's nothing behind the fake wall, which is the front of the house. So that is 1.5 meters thick, and there's nothing there. So this was a very Victorian method because they just decided to build the track and deal with the problems later. And now this is the problem. It's probably going to be like this forever, to be honest, because there's no way of fixing this unless you take the track away, because you can't build a house on top of there. So why didn't they just close it off? Why is there a big empty, it's a hole in the ground? Why is there still a hole in the ground? Because of course this happened in the 1800s. They still had steam trains then, and you can hear the train. The train still goes there. So they had steam trains, so they needed the ground not to be closed off so the steam could escape, because that's a lot of pressure, that's a lot of heat. So that's why they didn't just close it off. So if you take the Circle and District line on the London Underground, you are going underneath somebody's house. Amazing, huh? There goes the train. This video is going to end here in Hyde Park. Please let me know which one was your favorite hidden gem. I had so much fun making these videos. Like I said, this is part 2. Go and watch the other video to see some more secrets about London. There's so much to see, so much to do. Such a historic place, the greatest city in the world. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and I'll see you in the next adventure, wherever it could be. There's a whole world out there. I'm going to go and see it. Hit subscribe if you want to see it with me. See you next time. Goodbye.